We would like to continue with the core of this event, the startup pitches, learning a lot prior, but now, of course, this is really what this is all about. We will be starting with the Sanofi startup pitches, and I would like to welcome Karen Linehan, the Executive Vice President and General Counsel of Sanofi. Karen, nice to meet you virtually, and thank you very much for introducing Sanofi and the Sanofi startups for us today. And stage is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and hello everyone. It is a real pleasure to be here today. I'm very excited to launch a new batch of challenges with startups Creasphere. You should know the people from Sanofi who attended these events come back as true ambassadors for this initiative with a lot of enthusiasm. So I've waited quite a bit of time to come here, and I'm very excited. And given the current context, I'm glad the kickoff day is maintained, and holding it remotely gives more people an opportunity to attend and stay safe. As you know, Sanofi is dedicated to supporting people through their health challenges beyond the pills, and digital is a major component of integrated healthcare solutions. When joining Sanofi a year ago, Paul Hudson, our CEO, identified digital as an area of focus for the company. In this respect, the partnership with startup Creasphere has created a great way to connect with startups all over the world and serve our consumer healthcare ambition to accelerate our digital offers to our consumers. For those of you who don't know, Sanofi Consumer Healthcare is a business unit within Sanofi that ranks among the top 3 consumer healthcare organizations in the world. Each year, 2.2 billion boxes of our CHC products are distributed throughout the world. Today, people look for personalization of healthcare treatments and greater empowerment in managing their day-to-day health. The pandemic has only accelerated this trend. And for CHC, this means we must evolve our business to incorporate digital solutions with our traditional over-the-counter products that meet consumer needs. The 2 companies selected for the flu self-diagnosis and the next OTC level of in-store experience challenges are working on promising developments in these areas. Our internal teams have already been working hard and over the last months on their projects. I know we will see some great pitches today. Now, before leaving them the floor, as the head of Sanofi's Legal, Ethics, and Business Integrity Department, I want to stress the importance of the close partnering between my teams and operations. For instance, the Sanofi CHC legal team helps frame the relationship between Sanofi and the startups during the test and learn phase, as well as preparing the potential next steps. We play a key role in the potential pilot and the negotiations. Prior to reaching such a pilot, we will need to test the selected solution. So let's learn more about them. Frederic, back to you.
Thank you, Karen, and also thank you for explaining more about the legal angle of this partnership and how important it is for the entire development and co-creation together. And now I'd like to hand over the word to my dear colleague, Fabian, our venture associate, who sourced for the startups together with the team on the ground and who will be leading the startup pitches and the Q&A. And we encourage you to please ask questions for the startup pitches. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome also from my side. My name is Fabian, and as Friederike already mentioned, I'm primarily coordinating with my team here on the ground. The selection process around the startups you will see in a moment. But just as a quick recap, before we dive into the startup pitches, we're using Slido for the questions. So in case you want to interact, you want to direct any questions towards the startups, please go to www.sly.do and use the code batch5. I will then go through the questions and direct the questions towards the startups. Besides that, in case, of course, if you have any questions, in the meantime afterwards, please feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to get you in touch with all the startups or direct the questions to them. So that being said, let's jump into the first startup from Sanofi. We will see Garamentis. Garamentis has developed a very new shopping and retail experience, and how that fits into pharma and what they're doing. Well, Norbert will tell you all about it. So the stage is yours, Norbert.
Hi, Fabian. Hello, everyone. Let me just share my screen with you. Hold on a second. I hope you can all see me, and I hope that you can see my charts now. First of all, let me say a warm thank you to Sanofi and Plug and Play for inviting us to participate in this batch. We are very honored, and I would like to use the next 5 minutes to introduce you to Garamantis. We are a German-based, Berlin-based company that is specialized in interactive technologies, and we believe that, let's say, it's our mission to inspire and convince the clients and the customer at every life touch point. So, no matter if it's trade fairs, events, or your own showroom, we do believe that live offers you the most valuable touch points with your target group. We offer the right tools and technologies in order to create emotions and interactions because we think that they are key to customer excitement. We translate goals into experiences, let it be from the first ideas, from the first pitch to the rollout to audience as we relate to it. We are trying to bring in your clients, or let's say make them dive deeper into your brand and product world in a very playful and immersive and intuitive way. Having said that, we are using lots of technologies, such as, for instance, virtual reality, augmented reality, multi-touch technologies, interactive projections, and also all kinds of sensor tech like camera, laser, radar, or LiDAR systems. Here are some examples of our past work. We did, for instance, the showroom for the European Space Agency in Frascati in Italy. We equipped it with lots of technologies, interactive screens, interactive installations in order to tell about the story of the European Space Agency in a very, very immersive way. Also, we're doing corporate exhibitions, such, for instance, with SAP, where we used interactive installations, interactive screens in order to tell the story of SAP in a very immersive way. Together with the Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, we are working on different trade fairs. For instance, what you can see here is an installation we did for them for the Green Week, the Grüne Woche here in Berlin last year. It is a dome, an immersive dome, where you can watch a 360-degree video in a very immersive way. We installed multi-sensual things like, for instance, the heat. You can watch the video and feel the heat, smell sand or fish or whatever it is, right? What you can see or experience in the 360-degree video. We do high-level presentations, such, for instance, for the German Air Force, where they did the presentation with the German President. Also, we do prototyping, rapid prototyping and minimal viable products within workshops. Here we work closely together with our key partner, Ars Electronica from Austria. We help retailers and brands to transform their point of sale into a point of experience. What you can see here is an interactive showcase where you can present your products in a very immersive and playful way again. We work together with many museums, for instance, with the German Spy Museum in Berlin, equipping them with the latest technologies. And also we are working with international science centers, such as, for instance, the Mexican Science Center in Sinaloa, which we equip with a deep space, which is a immersive installation that is, again, interactive and offers you an opportunity to dive into scientific content. We're very proud that we also work with the German Bundesregierung on a virtual event, which took place, or even now takes place, as a virtual exhibition for the German Unity. 30 years of German Unity, we did a virtual event based on Mozilla Hubs, where you can basically immerse yourself and experience the exhibition in a virtual way. And we're very happy that we got invited by Sanofi to participate in this batch and working on our view on the future of pharmacy, where we created several modules that can be implemented in a pharmacy within the next years. So to put it together in a couple of sentences, we're a full service company, and we, let's say, accompany our clients from kickoff to wow, starting with consulting and doing the concepts and ending with installation, rollout, and everything that's in between. Garamantis by numbers, we got founded in 2014, so we're 6 years old. We have full-time employees, 8. We have 8 of them. We have 2 showrooms, one in Berlin, and last year we opened our showroom in Singapore together with a partner there, a local partner. We have 1 office or atelier or workshop here at the Europe campus in Berlin-Schöneberg, which is the Center for Sustainable Energies. And we work closely together with the operator OF AG. We are proud to say that there is no venture capital and no investors in Garamantis at the moment, and we grew organically throughout the last 6 years. So that's it. Here's our team, our core team that also works on the Sanofi batch, and we are happy to work together with you, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Fantastic, Norbert. Thank you so much for that great presentation. We actually already have the first questions coming in, so
Sure.
I will directly shoot at you and you can answer them. So first of all, do you have any metrics on how the sales improved using or after implementing your solution?
So what we can say is obviously I'm not allowed to share any numbers here because most of that happened under NDA. But what I can say is that the experience from let's say, for instance, a retailer we work together in Singapore told us that people stay for longer at their point of sale because it's obviously something where you can play with the installation, the showcase, which I just showed you a minute ago. So no, sorry, unfortunately, I cannot tell you any numbers, but what I can tell you that, for instance, the number of minutes people spend at the point of sale, obviously before COVID-19 hit us all, increased.
Okay, fantastic. You just mentioned COVID-19. Actually, we have one question also targeting that. So for your upcoming sales and for your upcoming strategy to implement your solution, what measures do you take in terms of safety and securing the customers in the end when they use your touch screens, when they use your solutions?
So at the moment, we're working closely on a project with Fraunhofer Institute where we want to introduce touchless touch. So it's based on a new technology which enables you to use touchscreens without actually touching them. That's one part, but obviously we also see that there is a decrease in visiting physical spaces, which is why we now focus a lot on virtual experiences and try to basically translate the experiences we had on site now into virtual surroundings.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. There are a bunch of other questions, but unfortunately we don't have the time to go through all of them. But as I mentioned, also we have one question by Kazik. Please feel free to reach out to us, to me, to my team, to our team, and we're more than happy to get you connected and also get you in touch. So then moving on to the next. Thanks, Norbert. Then moving on to the next company, it's the Mexican-based company Unima. They've developed a platform that could potentially service around 3 billion people. And how they do it and what it has to do with shock antibodies, Jose Luis will tell you all about it. Jose,
hello.
The stage is yours.
Thank you. So first of all, I want to say thank you to Sanofi and the Creasphere program for inviting us to participate in this project, which we know it could impact the lives of millions. So in the following 5 minutes, I want to give you a brief overview of what we do in Unima. Today, to get a COVID test, you have to go to a clinical lab, pay over $100 and wait days for your result. The process is slow, expensive, and annoying. But the most important thing is not available for most of the world's population. In Unima, we designed diagnostic tests to secure a timely diagnostic for everyone, anywhere. The problem that we're solving is the lack of access to a timely diagnostic for more than half of the world's population due to the centralization of diagnostic and clinical labs. Current diagnostic technologies can detect almost any disease known with a very high level of precision. However, these depend on decentralized labs with expensive equipment and specialized personnel, which makes it impossible to scale up to an universal access to the diagnostic. To solve this problem, we developed FIND, a fast and low-cost diagnostic and real-time disease surveillance platform technology, which allows anyone, even those with no medical or technical training, to diagnose a disease directly where the patient is without using lab equipment, with results in 15 minutes and at cost that can go as low as $1 per test. So with this technology, we are taking diagnostic out of the lab and to the place you need it now, even in the most remote places of the world. Our technology is based in shark antibodies modified with genetic engineering to generate a visual reaction when these detect disease biomarkers in blood, urine, or saliva samples. We print these shark proteins in microfluidic devices, and the visual reaction is evaluated with a smartphone app that runs image analysis processes and artificial intelligence algorithms to generate a final result. Automatically, the result, along with contextual information like geolocation, date, and time, is sent to a cloud server where it's used for real-time disease surveillance, which helps healthcare organizations and companies to create better strategies and products to stop disease outbreaks. In a $23 billion market, we are targeting diagnostic applications for global and public health diseases, as well as tests to support therapeutics in the pharmaceutical market and applications to detect animal and crop diseases on the farm. Our business model, we call it diagnostic platform as a service, in which we work with business to business with large users as healthcare organizations, pharmaceutical companies, and governments, developing tailored tests over our platform that solve a specific challenge in disease diagnostic that these organizations have. So we design, develop, validate, and manufacture the tests for our customers. Our revenues come from testing devices sold, and in the next stage, we provide paid access to statistical data and analytics to healthcare professionals. Our defined platform, our first developed product, is a blood-based antibody test for the triage and screening of patients with active tuberculosis, which is in the process of pilots in 7 countries and with contracts for around 6 million tests per year, and to be launched in the first quarter of next year with customers in Indonesia, Mexico, Paraguay, and Malaysia. And to solve the problem of a timely diagnostic for COVID, we developed a test to detect the COVID virus in saliva samples to screen patients with suspected infections. So this test was developed as an over-the-counter test to be used at home, at work, or at school, with results in 5 minutes, automatic generation of patient result passes, and real-time report to the national COVID programs in each country. This test was developed to be very easy to use, even by people without any previous training on its use. In less than 5 minutes, you can detect a COVID infection directly where you are at just a fraction of the cost of current tests. Therefore, it can be used as a routine testing in a weekly basis for early detection of cases. Additionally to the tuberculosis and COVID test that we will launch in the following 4 months, we are currently in the development phase of new tests for dengue and urinary tract infections. The collaboration project with Sanofi will be focused on the influenza area. For future developments, we are also targeting the development of new tests for infectious and non-communicable diseases, as well as applications in animal and crop health, and for the detection of non-disease situations, for example, like toxins, allergens, or water quality. We are a second-time founder team. Together in a previous startup, we developed a pharmaceutical technology for animal health, which we own in 14 countries in partnership with a global pharmaceutical company. Therefore, we have proven experience taking a new technology from the lab to the global market. In UNIMA, we have been supported by leading acceleration programs like Y Combinator, the Stanford X program, Google Launchpad, Math Challenge, and Endeavor. We have been funded by different organizations, including Grand Challenges Canada, Google, and Science and Technology Ministers of Germany and Mexico, and International Bank of Development. We have been also funded by investors from Silicon Valley, the United Kingdom, and Latin America. And well, in UNIMA, we have a very clear mission: to secure a timely diagnostic for everyone, anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. That's a very novel goal, and I'm convinced you will achieve good and great things with your platform and together with our partner, Sanofi. We actually already have the first questions coming in. Amongst them, the question is about regulatory approval. So do you already have, well, besides looking only at your tuberculosis test, but then also COVID-19, what's the status for the CE/FDA approval?
Yeah, so the tuberculosis test, it's in approval process in the European Union. Mexico was already approved, and we are running local processes in different countries. For the COVID test specifically, we are applying for FDA because it is a product that will be focused on the beginning in the US and some Latin American countries. We are also running at the same time the CE mark process. We have already customers for Spain and Germany. And we are also running in other countries, including Malaysia and Argentina and Chile right now.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Moving to the next question, it is about the sensitivity and specificity of your COVID test.
So our antigen test right now, we are increasing our clinical trial numbers, but today the test has a 98% sensitivity and 99% specificity. This is something that, for example, FDA is really, for FDA, for example, is really important because this kind of test should be used, for example, for mass screening of patients. So even that you're going to use repeatedly this kind of test, you at least should have a sensitivity over 95% in order to make it this a really useful test for COVID.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. One more question. What is the specific advantage for using shark antibodies compared to others?
That's a good question. So why are we using shark antibodies? So shark antibodies are the smallest natural antibodies known to date. They are very simple. They're actually like 1/3 of the size of a mammal antibody, and they only have one domain. So this makes these antibodies very simple. So we can express a high concentration of these antibodies using bacteria in bioreactors that decreases a lot the manufacturing cost. But the most important thing about shark antibodies is that they are heat resistant. So for example, you can actually boil a shark antibody, and when it cools down, it only loses like 8% of activity. So that increases a lot of stability of the product, even in harsh conditions. So you can ship this product, for example, to very hot and humid regions of Africa without any cold chain, and you will have, for example, the possibility of using for 3 years without any problem of shelf life. So it's actually important for the kind of application that we're looking for in developing countries.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, José Luis, for that presentation, for answering all the questions. Up to now, we've already seen a lot of content and a lot to digest. So we would jump into a quick bio break of about 10 minutes and then kick things off with our Roche startups.